The Terminator 1984. The saga begins in the neon-drenched streets of 1984 Los Angeles, where the ordinary rhythm of life is shattered by the sudden arrival of two figures from a distant, war-torn future. One is the Terminator, an emotionless, nearly indestructible killing machine played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Programmed by the artificial intelligence Skynet, it has only one directive: kill Sarah Connor. Unbeknownst to her, she will one day become the mother of John Connor, the man who will lead humanity's resistance in the future's brutal machine war. Opposing the Terminator is Kyle Reese, a battle-hardened soldier who volunteers to travel through time to protect Sarah. At first, Sarah struggles to comprehend Kyle's warnings of a future where machines dominate the world, exterminating most of humanity. But as the Terminator relentlessly hunts her, she's forced to confront the unimaginable truth. Their escape becomes a desperate fight for survival. Kyle develops deep feelings for Sarah, ultimately sacrificing his own life to destroy the cyborg. His death leaves Sarah grieving, but also transformed. She learns she is pregnant with John, a realization that steels her resolve. As she drives toward the unknown future, she carries both the weight of destiny and the spark of hope for humanity's survival. Terminator 2. Judgment Day 1991. 7 years later, the story shifts to a world on the verge of transformation. John Connor is now a rebellious 10-year-old living with foster parents, blissfully unaware of the burden on his shoulders. Sarah Connor, hardened by years of preparation, has become a warrior in her own right, unrelenting. Disciplined and haunted by visions of a nuclear apocalypse. When another time portal opens, the unexpected occurs. A familiar T-800 arrives, this time as John's protector. Reprogrammed by the future resistance, it becomes humanity's unlikely guardian against a terrifying new threat, the T-1000, a liquid metal shapeshifter capable of mimicking anyone it touches. Fast, intelligent, and unyielding, the T-100 escalates the conflict to unprecedented levels. Reunited, Sarah, John, and the T-800 form a fragile, reluctant family unit as they attempt to stop Skynet from ever being created. Their mission leads them to Miles Dyson, the brilliant engineer whose research will inadvertently spark the rise of Skynet. Together, they confront the moral weight of preventing the future, no matter the cost. The climax becomes a battle not only for survival, but for the very fate of humanity. In a poignant moment of self-sacrifice, the T-800 lowers itself into molten steel, destroying the final remnants of Skynet's future technology. John, shaped by both his mother's resilience and the machine's unlikely guidance, begins his transformation into the leader he is destined to become. Terminator 3. Rise of the Machines 2003. Years later, John Connor lives in the shadows, a drifter trying to evade the destiny he fears yet cannot escape. Sarah has passed away from cancer, leaving John emotionally adrift without the mentor who shaped his survival instincts. Despite his efforts, fate catches up with him. A new threat emerges, the TX, one of the most advanced killing machines Skynet ever created. With the ability to control other machines and adapt on the fly, the TX is programmed not just to eliminate John, but every future leader of the human resistance. Once again, a Terminator arrives, this time the T-850, bearing Schwarzenegger's familiar appearance to protect John and Kate Brewster, the woman destined to become his wife and future co-commander. Their fight to stop Judgment Day becomes a desperate race against time. But unlike before, fate proves immutable. Despite all efforts, Judgment Day cannot be stopped, tonally delayed. As nuclear fire erupts across the world, John and Kate shelter inside a hardened bunker, realizing that leadership has been thrust upon them. The war against the machines has begun, and John must finally become the leader he was born to be. Terminator Salvation 2009. The narrative leaps into the harsh wasteland of the post-Judgment Day future. Cities lie in ruins, and humanity clings to survival against Skynet's vast and evolving army of killing machines. John Connor, no longer a child, but a seasoned warrior, fights to unify scattered survivor groups into a cohesive resistance. Amidst the chaos emerges Marcus Wright, mysterious man who believes himself human but hides a devastating secret. He is a hybrid cyborg unknowingly created by Skynet. Its existence challenges John's understanding of humanity and trust, forcing him to confront the blurred lines between man and machine. As John grows closer to the role destiny carved for him, he faces devastating losses and hard decisions. He leads daring missions, rescues prisoners from Skynet's facilities, begins laying the foundation of the resistance force that will one day send both Kyle Reese and the T-800 back in time. The future is grim, but hope persists through John's leadership and sacrifice. Terminator Genesis 2015. This chapter reimagines the timeline entirely. When Kyle Reese travels back to 1984, he finds the past drastically altered. Instead of an untrained, frightened Sarah Connor, he discovers a fierce warrior raised since childhood by a reprogrammed T-800 nicknamed Pops. Time itself has been rewritten, and nothing unfolds as expected. As Kyle and Sarah attempt to piece together the fractured timeline, a shocking revelation emerges. John Connor, the symbol of humanity's hope, has been corrupted into a nanomachine-based Terminator. Manipulated by Skynet, John becomes both a tragic figure and an unstoppable enemy. The trio, Sarah, Kyle, and Pops fight to prevent the launch of Genesis, Skynet's new manifestation in the modern digital age. The battle becomes a struggle not only against machines, but against Destiny's shifting foundation. In this timeline, even the knowledge of the future becomes a weapon Skynet uses against them. Terminator Dark Fate 2019. Dark Fate resets the story once more by continuing directly from the events of Terminator 2. In a shocking opening, a surviving T-800 assassin succeeds where all others failed, killing young John Connor. The loss shatters Sarah's world, leaving her embittered, furious, and consumed by vengeance. Years later, a new war brews not against Skynet, but against Legion, a different AI that rises from humanity's technological ambition. Dani Ramos, an ordinary woman in Mexico, becomes the new target because she will one day lead the resistance against Legion. Grace, an augmented human soldier, is sent from the future to protect Dani. While Sarah now, a hardened legend in her own right, joins the fight, fueled by both grief and purpose. Unexpectedly, the T-800 who killed John resurfaces, now living as Carl, a machine that has grown a conscience and seeks atonement. Together, they battle the Rev-9, an advanced Terminator capable of splitting into two independent forms. Their struggle is fierce, tragic, and deeply emotional. Grace's sacrifice and Dani's awakening resolve reveal a familiar truth. Leaders are forged in fire. The fight against machine domination is never truly over.